Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mel.
And together we are
the Salty Hoes.
We are feeling quite jubilant today because it's been a wee minute since Mel and I have recorded.
I have returned.
She has returned to report.
Yes, I left you. I left you for a couple of weeks and I missed you greatly.
Oh my God. I felt like my arm was missing.
Oh,
it was terrible.
I know. It was hard not to record for a couple of weeks, actually.
It was so weird because this has become part of our routine. And
yes.
It was just like, where's my Melissarella?
Oh.
And yeah, I was like trying to be measured and not bug you with text all the time because you were on vacation.
Oh, well, you can bug me with text all the time. That's not a problem.
Well, I mean,
I was underwater quite a bit of the time I was gone, though. So
literally, not a metaphor.
Yeah, no, like actually underwater.
Well, let's start there today. Tell us more about that. Oh, but before that,
yes.
Me, along with all of our listeners, would like to wish you a very happy birthday.
Aw, thank you.
Mel hit the big 50.
Oh, I did, yes.
And she's the hottest 50-year-old I know.
Oh, stop.
I mean, girl, I honestly didn't know that you were 50.
Oh, thank you.
I thought you were like in your late 40s.
Oh.
And this sounds terrible because I've known you for quite some time.
That's okay. I don't really keep track of my friends' ages necessarily, so.
Like I knew approximately, but I couldn't believe it was the 50 this year. It's the same way, like in my head, you're 5'10" and 46. So
perfect. I would like to be both those things, but that's okay. I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah, that's how you live in my head.
Yeah,
so
perfect. I like this version of me.
Yes, it just, it's just how you exist in my wee brain. But
perfect.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
As I say, you are the hottest 50-year-old I know. And I'm going to do a little, I didn't ask about this before, but I would like to just do a little devotee for you for your birthday.
Oh, okay. Okay. I love it.
I just want to say nice things about you.
Aww.
So, I'm sure that our listeners know by now what an amazingly hilarious, smart, incredible person you are. And I'm not just blowing smoke up your wee butt. Like you really are. Well, it's a great butt. I don't mean wee small. I mean like awesome ass. Because that is one of your credentials.
Oh, yes. Thank you. My ass. Yeah.
Yes.
It is one of my best features.
Yes.
I would say.
And I was doing some hand gestures there. Obviously, you can't
I can see
me,
them.
but I'm like, yes, she's got a really good butt. Maybe we'll post a picture sometime.
I mean, it's kind of a work of art, not going to lie.
It is. It's beautiful. But I am just very happy to have you in my life for so many reasons.
Aww.
Obviously, you're my fellow salty hoe, which is like, we have a great little bond in that regard that, I really don't have with.
It is a very, very unique relationship.
It is.
In the best way.
Yes.
I love it.
And it just, we have explored and grown our vibe.
We have. Yes. We've plumbed some of the depths. We have more to come.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope so. But yes, as you can see, she's also a wordsmith and very funny, amazing, genuinely one of the smartest people I know. Like we know a lot of smart people.
We do.
Like just through our occupations and such. But you are like, you have the best range of anybody I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
Because a lot of the smart people we know are like smart about like one thing, but like you're smart about everything.
Oh, stop.
And
I'm blushing over here.
Blush. Well, I have some more. Melissarella gave this wonderful talk once, and it was obviously centered on science because you're a scientist, but I was so impressed with all of the other stuff that you brought in, social justice elements, like your range is impressive.
Well, thank you. I don't know what to say. I'm just over here like having a little moment.
Just take it all.
But you know what? Let me just put in a little plug for not being confined to a disciplinary silo. I really actually don't like that when we get into this very narrow way of thinking, because the boundaries around our disciplines, I would say, are somewhat artificial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cross-discipline is the way to go.
It really is.
Like in terms of collaboration or just applying your knowledge to different things. I agree that that's how we like thrive.
100%. Yeah.
Although I am not going to go all Joe Rogan and talk about vaccines because I don't know anything about them.
Well, I mean, it's not to say you have to be an expert on everything, but what I don't understand, I think, is being incurious about the world around you. You know what I mean? Like, I want to learn everything.
Yes, which is a lovely, lovely feature about you. Curiosity. I think it's hot.
It is hot. Curiosity is hot.
Others.
Yes, exactly.
Like asking questions and all the things. But yeah, I love you. I think you're amazing. And I'm so glad to know you.
I love you too.
And happy birthday.
Back at you. Except for the happy birthday part.
Hey, I'll take
We'll save that for October.
I know. So we have a Libra and Taurus combo here.
Okay, I don't know anything about astrology, so that doesn't actually mean much to me.
Well, two of my children are Tauruses, so this is good. So yeah,
bullheaded, is that what we're supposed to be?
I think you're quite chill people. Like, you're not aggressive. You're like, I actually need to brush up on my Taurus things because I am like, but I think you're like pretty chill. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're at one point we're going to do this astrology episode, and you can teach me all about this whatever you want to call it,
woo-woo stuff.
Woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, I will get my oldest child in to help us.
Oh,
she's really good at this stuff.
Excellent. Okay.
But yes, I had another accolade I wanted to hurl at you, but it's slipped my mind. But it will come up at some point here, and I will bring it into the conversation. Oh, I did. Yeah, you are a good listener.
Oh, thank you.
You are like a really, really good listener. And you are one of the very, very, very few humans on this earth that I feel able and safe to have a complete breakdown with.
Oh.
Because girl here is a big masker, and I will not.
Yeah.
I will only have joyful feelings typically in front of people. But you are a very safe person. Not that I'm saying I'm going to dump all my shit on you now, Melissa.
Oh, you can.
But
I got you, girl.
I feel that, and I'm very grateful for that because it's honestly quite rare. Like, to have that on that depth.
I agree. And I feel the same way about you. It is kind of rare to like have that person that you not only feel safe with, but feel like you're not burdening by, saying what you really think and what you really feel. Mm-hmm.
Or that you have to have the good girl syndrome around all the time, right?
That's right.
Be on like your best behavior. And, it's like warts and all. I feel completely accepted by
I
you,
love every bit of you.
Oh, I love all your bits. You've got great bits.
Well, thank you.
She has great bits, lads. Okay. Well, I don't want to go too mushy on you.
I think we're already there.
Yeah, you're like, you passed that long ago. But there you go.
Well,
celebrate Melissarella.
Thank you.
Buy her a drink. Give her a high five. Just all the things. So you got to celebrate the half-century mark for quite a while.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like I'm already extending that celebration. So that was my birthday trip that I just got back from. Mm-hmm. So it was it's funny when people are like, oh, you should buy yourself a present. I'm like, oh, I already did.
Like I did.
Awarded myself quite a large present, which was a scuba dive trip to Micronesia.
Amazing.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Explain where Micronesia is or what it encompasses.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, I can tell you a little bit about that. So Micronesia is in the Pacific Ocean, of course. It's a collection of islands. And the island I was on is called Chuuk, Chuuk. Sometimes people say Truuk, or sometimes people say Chuck or Truck, right? Yeah. That's kind of the more American way to say it.
I'm going to Chuuk on my vacation.
Yeah, well, not very many people do go to this place on their vacation. But in terms of where it is, like, okay, imagine this. Like, imagine that you have one boat that is going north from Cairns, Australia. Yeah. Or Cairns, or however they say it in Australia. I can't do that accent.
We have some Aussie listeners.
We do, yes. Okay, so you're heading straight north. Okay, you've got a boat heading straight north, and then you have another boat heading straight east from Singapore. Yeah. All right, so just above the equator, like maybe 6 or 7 degrees north. That's where Singapore is. All right, and then where those boats meet is where I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that took you a wee minute to get there.
It did, yeah. So I took a few flights, and maybe we can like talk about this a little bit. We don't really have an agenda, by the way, this time, y'all. We're just like free flowing here.
This is just like, we're going to call it the Melissarella birthday episode.
Love it. Yeah.
We're just celebrating you. We're talking about you and the things you like to do. And I think your birthday trip is a great place to start.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So
two things you love.
Yes.
Sorry, travel and scuba.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So tell us more.
Yeah, so I flew from here to San Francisco to Honolulu, Honolulu to Guam, and then you have to overnight in Guam. Well, I guess you don't have to. There's other ways to sort of get there, but then there's a short flight from Guam to this island, Chuuk, which is part of Micronesia. Yeah, so like a 2-hour flight.
Quite a trip.
Yeah, it was quite a trip. It took a while to get there.
Wow.
I got from Salt Lake to Guam in essentially one day. It was almost 24 hours of travel each way to get that done. So yeah, it was not a small trip.
Not a small trip.
8 flights total.
Oof. And they're ahead time-wise.
Yeah, it's over the date line. So it's 16 hours ahead of Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as the east coast of Australia, the same time zone, I believe.
How did that feel going and coming back?
Oh, you know what? Going west is always fine.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I go west, I can go to Australia. It's okay for some reason.
Yeah.
Like maybe you wake up in the middle of the night a couple times, but you know what? I do that anyway.
Yeah.
I have insomnia anyway. So like, you're like, oh, nothing's changed really.
You're like,
for me.
but I'm in a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, but going east, it always feels like someone has just punched me in the face and the gut and all the places. And it takes me days to recover going east.
Tricky.
It is tricky.
Yes.
So, you know, it's plus minus. I like going to Asia or the Pacific because you're going west and you start your trip totally fresh. But then when you come home, you're paying the price.
Yes.
Europe's the opposite, where you pay the price on the front end. But like, hopefully you're so excited to be there that maybe you sort of get over it.
You can get through it.
Yeah, but then it's an easier transition coming home.
I always love the coming home part when I visit home, because I'm just like, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and feeling bright and breezy.
Yeah, I'm so productive.
Right?
Like, this is amazing.
So good. But then I go to bed at like 7:30 p.m. But yeah, it's lovely. But yes, going the other direction is brutal.
Oh, east is terrible.
Yes.
So I've not been sleeping a lot. So if I say anything weird, y'all, I'm kind of loopy. I mean, I got 4 whole hours of sleep last night, and that was a vast improvement over the 2 nights before that.
Oh, girl,
yeah, we're
that's
talking
rough.
like 90 minutes the night before. It was
my God.
not good.
That's not
Yeah,
fun.
I know.
On top of travel. Like,
yeah.
Oof. Yeah, you need some sleep.
Yes, I do need some
Is it going to
sleep.
happen? Are you just going to like hit that place and sleep for like 12 hours?
I certainly hope so.
You're like, please God.
Yeah, that would
make
be
it
great
happen.
tonight. That would be amazing.
You're like, I am invoking this wish. That is rough. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, like, bitching about an amazing trip I took seems like kind of a bad look, but I am tired, I will say.
That is fair. It's hard to operate and feel good without sleep.
Yes,
Like,
it definitely is.
I think the older you get, not because you're like, oh, I'm old man Withers and I need sleep now, but just simply because you just know the value of it.
Yes.
Like, it feels good to sleep.
It really does.
Okay, we're all
Okay.
hoping for good sleep.
Yeah,
for you
thank
tonight.
you. Thank you. I'm sure it'll happen sometime, right?
that
Another
would
day or
be-
two, I'll be right as rain. But...
Yes. Or you could just get some Xannies from Meredith Marks and
Oh, yes. Some Xannies. I sadly don't have any Xannies. I was like,
Yes.
maybe Advil PM will help me, but it didn't help too much so far, so...
That's not great. Okay.
I know. Circadian rhythm, man. It's a hell of a drug.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's definitely a thing. Well, we're all hoping for good sleep.
Yes, thank you. I'll get there.
You'll get there. Well, tell us about this birthday trip then. Why this trip? Why scuba? Like, tell us about your love of travel and your love of scuba.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Let's start with diving, maybe. So I got certified, I think it was in 2006.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It's
so
been a wee minute.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And this was something that my ex and I did together. So I think he had technically gotten certified before with his first ex-wife, but he had never like gone diving anywhere. So then I got certified and we started diving together.
Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah, no, it was fun. That was definitely like one thing that we had in common. And have to give a shout out to the dive shop again. Yes, so I certified through Neptune Divers here in Salt Lake City way back in 2006. It's been around for a while.
On 9th East, right?
Yeah. like
in between like 27 and
yeah, it's like right around there. There's a fire station. It's right south of there.
The wee golf course.
Yeah. Anyway, the owner Lori, like she is so great, and she organizes several trips a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So this
That's
was
cool.
This was one of those.
Because we can't really dive a lot here in Utah.
I mean, I don't like to. Lori always gives me shit because they actually do local dives every month, and I like never go.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to dive in a lake.
I know.
A dirty lake.
I'm saving myself for the ocean. Sorry, Lori.
That's fair enough. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so she organized this trip. There were 16 of us almost all from Utah. I think there was somebody from the Midwest, but yeah, so we flew there and got on a boat and spent the whole week on this boat. So it's a large boat.
Amazing.
We call it a liveaboard, and did 7 days of diving off the boat.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds
Or 6 days, I
incredible.
guess. It was 7 nights, six days of diving.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so cool.
How was living on a boat? Did you get seasick at all?
Oh, I love it, but I did not. So there is seasickness medication you can take, and I actually kind of forgot to take it the first day, but this particular place is really, really calm. So Chuuk is essentially a string of islands that are part of an atoll. So it used to, I assume, be a much larger, like, volcanic island that has sunk into the sea, right? But the fringing coral reef has built up some land, and now there's like some islands on the fringing reef. So anyway, all this to say that where the boat was, it's quite shallow and fairly protected. So there wasn't a lot of wave action. I actually love sleeping on a boat. It's very peaceful. You kind of get rocked to sleep.
Perfect. I love the ocean. Like it is, or the sea.
Yes.
We call it the sea in Ireland. There's just something about being in or around water that is just,
That's right.
It's more spiritual for me than I ever felt at church.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sea's in your blood as an Irish person, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, it's just every morning when I, walked my kids to school, the ocean or the sea. God, I've become an American. I need to say sea. It was just right there. So, yeah, there is something just lovely about being in water. Let's go live in a boat or something. Wouldn't that be nice?
I would totally do that.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, I met a couple actually on this dive trip. I hadn't met them before, and they used to have a sailboat, and they lived on it for quite some time. Like they sailed all around the Caribbean, and
that's a good life.
Yeah, well, they had an encounter with pirates once.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
So crazy.
It's so intriguing to me that there's still pirates on the high seas.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
wild.
Not a good nor romantic thing.
It's not like Captain Pugwash. Yeah, it's like
Captain Pugwash.
Oh, did they not have that here? Oh, this is actually funny. There's this children's show called Captain Pugwash.
I've never heard of this.
And it was when I was a child. So I think that there are a few shows when I was a child. Sorry, first tangent of the podcast today. Were like people were definitely on drugs.
Oh, for sure.
And it slipped through
for sure.
somehow. There was one called The Magic Roundabout. It definitely people were tripping balls.
I mean, just the name alone.
Yeah, they had this man on a spring called Zebedee and Dougal the dog, and it was
oh good Lord,
totally somebody tripping balls. Captain Pugwash had these range of characters, but one that stands out is Seaman Staines.
Oh my God. This was a children's
show.
Good Lord.
And this is where I'm like, wow, like, did that just slip through some filter? Like, did nobody...
Yeah, how did that get through whatever the equivalent of the FCC is over there?
And this was like was it on the BBC? Maybe it was BBC or ITV, I can't remember. But but Captain Pugwash was a cute parrot, so...
Oh my God.
So yeah.
Wild.
Yep, and Mr. Seaman Staines.
I'm going to have to look this up and see some screenshots or something.
We'll find it. We'll put a wee post on Instagram of Captain Pugwash.
Amazing.
So sorry, back to people living on boats.
All good. Yeah, so it's lovely to live on a boat for a week. Really nice, and then very convenient, right? Because you can just dive right off the boat.
Yes.
There's not really any commute. And what this particular location is known for is a large number of World War II shipwrecks.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So this was the stronghold of the Japanese Navy during World War II.
Yeah.
So they had like repair facilities, like a big runway, a seaplane dock. Like they had some of their super battleships there and carriers. And at some point, the U.S. intelligence found out where this was and bombed it.
Wow.
Okay, so it's kind of the reverse of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sank something like 50 ships and
Oh my goodness.
like over 250 planes, bombed all of that. So these are giant warships at the bottom of the sea.
My goodness. Who knew?
Not many people do know about this.
I did not know
think
about that.
I definitely didn't learn about it in school. So it's quite famous in scuba diving circles, but I think that's really the only people that know much about it.
Well, because I was going to ask you that, because obviously I didn't come up through the public school system in Merca.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do they teach this at school? Because you hear about Pearl Harbor all the time, but...
Yeah, certainly, like, we covered Pearl Harbor, but I'm trying to remember how much time during... so we take American history our junior year of high school, I think is traditional. But that's like all of American history. So World War II, I think, was a couple weeks, probably.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't talk about Chuuk Lagoon.
Well, something that I have observed, shall we say, having children gone through the school system here, is, well, a few things. Number one, you get a T-shirt for everything. That's a thing. And number two is that the history is very much centered on the pleasant aspects and the victories.
Yes.
We don't usually talk about when, America would sink ships or do egregious things or,
Well, I would say that, like, this is actually an example of, not to say a non-egregious thing, but these were actual military targets.
Yeah.
This was not like the firebombing of Tokyo or the dropping of atomic bombs on civilian populations. I mean, these were military targets.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's great because war is not great, but I'm like, at least this was a military operation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like military-industrial complex type.
I'm actually surprised we don't teach it because it's like, rah, like we sunk the ship. It was our revenge for Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, but then... Well, I'm going on too much of a tangent.
No, it's not. It's not. Like, it's all related.
There's like but then that removes like the victim element of Pearl Harbor, though. I think it dilutes it a little bit, maybe, if you're like, so then we went and did this thing. I don't know.
I don't know if I would say so. I think this was like kind of a rah America like moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting what is shared and what is not. Like...
It is.
In terms of like national narratives.
Yeah, that is very interesting. And like we could certainly talk about how sanitized our, history is in the United States and in other countries as well. It's not
like
just us.
Everybody likes to tell the pleasant things.
Right. Or like the victorious things. I mean, I think when we studied World War II in high school, I remember, we talked about kind of like the invasion of Poland, right? Battle of Britain, very briefly as like the context for us getting into the war. Pearl Harbor, obviously, and then you kind of like fast forward a little bit to like D-Day and the invasion of Normandy, right? So that's kind of that. And then we did discuss, the dropping of the atomic bomb, the surrender of Japan, but we didn't, spend a lot of time talking about the war in the Pacific Theater.
Yeah, it's funny as well to see how like we learned history in Ireland. We're in a colonized British school system. So we have a British education, even though we're in Ireland, and which is goods, some goods to that. It's the rigor. The rigor is...
Oh, God.
The rigor is deep.
Yeah.
Intensive. But, also we're getting the colonizer version of history.
Of course.
So it's interesting to, like, see my view of, like, those high school history classes versus what you just described and, like, what my kids took. And... like World War II is one of those really interesting ones because, when you learn it through the British lens, it's like, and here we were, stuck in war, working away, and where were the Americans? Like, that's kind of the narrative. And then my kids took it here, and it's like, and then America came in and saved the world. And
it's
just,
that is our narrative.
It's like funny, the two different, like, perspectives of history that you get about the exact same thing, you know, and I had some interesting conversations with my kids when they would come home and share what they learned in school. So yeah. That's quite a tangent from Mel's birthday trip too.
No, it's okay. It reminds me of when I was in France, actually. So my mother used to teach high school, and she used to take some of those like guided tours, like to take some of the students. I went on one of them, and it was like cool. London, Paris, and Madrid, I think, were the cities we visited. And we had a British tour guide in Paris, right? And he still had some shady things to share. He's like, you might notice there's like a lot of really beautiful monuments here. Nothing got bombed. He's like, I wonder why that is. He's like, oh yeah, it's because they surrendered.
You're like, oh.
I was like, oh, okay.
Zing.
I know, right?
Yep. You know, historical events run deep in us all. And
absolutely.
Part of the landscape, part of all the things around us, it all carries a story.
Yeah, for sure. And it was interesting. Oh, sorry. It seemed like you were about to say one more thing.
Oh, no,
you
it's
took a breath
okay. No,
before I changed the...
Sure. Well, I was just going to say, this is what vacation talk with two academics sounds like.
I know, right? Yeah.
We're not like, and the cocktails were fucking amazing. We're like, and this version of history. And
well, you know, you just get curious, and then like you start reading up. And then, of course, because the whole dive trip was focused on these historical wrecks, I actually did learn a bit about history. So these were the most like comprehensive dive briefings I've ever had.
Yeah.
Usually they're like 5 minutes. They're like, okay, so we're going to like swim this way, and like then we're going to turn around and like come back, and like, you know, don't forget to do your safety stuff. It's like that. But this was like, these briefings were half an hour or longer, and we would watch like a little video. Like the captain had made this documentary about Chuuk Lagoon, which kind of flipped back and forth between like the historical. So they're like showing footage of the bombings actually happening. They did an interview with this native, like Micronesian, whose, I think it was his uncle maybe, had witnessed the attacks.
Wow.
And he had spent a lot of time diving the wrecks and providing like historical information. So they like interviewed him, and then it would be underwater footage, and then we would talk about like the whole ship and like what you could see, like where are the torpedoes, right? Where are the bullets? Like here's like where the bottles of beer and sake are, right? Like it was really quite wild.
Yeah.
So, you know, you learn a little bit about it, and it was like a whole nother perspective that I hadn't really heard of, right? Because the Japanese took this over. And of course, they were the colonizers of the Pacific, right? Like, you know, if you don't know this history, look up Japan. It's not pretty, like what they did in mainland China, in Korea, like to all these Pacific islands. So here in Chuuk, they essentially built this naval base stronghold. A lot of it was built with slave labor of the native population, who they, you know, forced to labor and build all these facilities. And then when they were besieged by the Americans, right, so most of the ships were sunk over a couple of days, but then the bombings continued for quite some time. And there was also a naval blockade. Okay, so at that point, essentially the Japanese like took all the food and didn't give any of it to the native population. So thousands of people actually probably starved to death. The records aren't so good there. Okay.
A common strategy.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like these poor people, totally innocent, who are bearing the brunt of it. I mean, obviously a lot of Japanese soldiers were dying as well, but again, they were military personnel. So it is, in my mind, a little bit different than starving out the native population, right?
Yeah, you don't really sign up for that when you're just trying to live and exist.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, this is still a really, really poor and depressed part of the world. So I don't know if y'all... listening have been to any Pacific Islands. Probably many people have been to Hawaii, but a lot of the rest of the Pacific is pretty rough.
Yeah. I have never traveled in that region. Yeah. Never been there. So do you mean like underdeveloped, lack of investment, or is it local infrastructure? Like what is the issue?
There's really not so much infrastructure there at all. They're kind of living at a subsistence level. So Micronesia, I mean, if the United States was not providing direct aid, it would have a negative GDP. So it's got a GDP about $500 million, very small. Population of Chuuk, I think, is somewhere between 50 and 60,000. And then there are 3 other Micronesian states. So if you look at the flag, there's 4 stars on it. That's for Chuuk, Yap, Pohnpei, and Kashray.
Yeah.
And then there's some other like minor outline islands. So basically their source of income is aid from the United States.
Which I'm surprised to hear is still a thing.
Yeah, well.
Didn't we cut off aid to the entire world
Probably
recently?
They haven't got around to it because,
or it's strategic.
Well, I mean, some of it might be strategic. Yeah, I mean, that definitely there's some interest in maintaining a military presence over there. And, Guam, of course, the big game in town is the military base. Yeah. And this isn't very far away. I don't think we have military infrastructure there exactly, but just strategically, I think we're trying to keep them as allies. And essentially we're in this like compact of free association is what it's called. So Micronesian citizens, they're not citizens of any type of the United States, but if they come to the United States, they're eligible for all of the welfare that a United States citizen could get. They're also immediately eligible to work, so they don't need like a work visa or anything like that. So it's kind of a weird like association.
That's interesting. The skeptic in me is just like, it just feels like military stuff under the guise of aid.
Yeah, maybe. Although, again, there's not a military presence in Micronesia. I mean, I think it's just sort of keeping that option open, essentially.
Like the strategy and, just being strategic with the region, having some kind of presence like Guam and, Yeah,
I do get it. On the other hand, like, things are complicated. Yeah. I mean, and I think that's one benefit of travel is you go abroad and you realize things are fucking complicated.
Yes.
You can't boil things down into like 1 or 2 easy little sentences, right? And if we were to withdraw this aid, I wonder what the consequence would be. And I suspect it's not good. Like, this is already an extremely poor country. And it's unclear to me what sort of infrastructure you could really build. Tourism, maybe. There's a tiny bit of tourism, but most of the tourism, I think, is actually centered around the scuba diving of the wrecks. They have fewer than 5,000 tourists arrive every year. And so there's no infrastructure to support them. Like, there's no big hotels that are built or anything like that. The nicest building I saw on the island was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And you're going to love this, Claire. You're going to love it. So from the airport, the Chuuk airport, the road is relatively well paved to the Mormon church, and then it becomes not so well paved immediately afterwards.
Oh my God. See, yes. Wow. So many feelings. I imagine that a lovely contractor from Utah got the contract to go over there and
maybe
build the nice roads. And, you look at a religious organization and you're like, Clay. I can't even use the sleep as an excuse. See, you'll always look good because I will always say weird shit.
We both do.
Clay. Maybe that's the Irish version of okay.
You can tell people that. Like, other than our Irish listeners, everybody would believe you.
Clay. Like, that's exactly what it is.
There's an apostrophe in there.
Yes, definitely. Oh my goodness. I just marvel at like, it's not even like could we do this? Like, they can, because they're like a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah.
And it's just like, again, I'm so skeptical of motive, both, with governments and the church.
Sure.
Because it's like, aid, okay, and like I'm in full agreement, you shouldn't pull the aid, but it's just interesting that aid was pulled in so many other areas, but like not there.
Yeah.
And when you look at like the Mormon church and the money that they put into temples and church buildings, and they're all this like cookie cutter, we talked about this in other episodes, like American style forced air, even though it doesn't work for humid climates, and all the things just picked up and set down, and then let's make sure, because I'm sure the baby Jesus is like, the road has to be nice for me or I'm not coming back. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just like gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is that just another form of imperialism and colonization?
Yes, it is.
Yes. I mean, it is, to be like, let's dump ourselves here and make it look super altruistic, but like there's nothing altruistic about blowing people up, or I went from letters to numbers there. Just let us put this big building that we didn't create or design with local labor and put it in your neighborhood with a nice road.
Yeah, it does look just like a Utah chapel.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
I know.
It's just like...
We drove by on a Sunday. There were quite a few people there, including a pair of missionaries.
Wow. That'd be a good mission, though.
Maybe.
You're like, I don't know.
I don't...
Quiet. A little quiet.
It is quiet. I don't know. It's...
Yeah, and you can't swim either, so that would suck.
Oh, that's right, because the devil rules the
devil
water.
lives in the water. That's such... Yeah. God. What a weird rule.
Yeah, it's pretty odd.
Yeah. So we've gone from your birthday to diving to imperialism,
right?
Mormons and wars. And
yes,
all of the things. So what's it like to dive? I'm sure some people listening are divers. I have never done it, but I love the water. And
one of these days, I'm going to drag you down to the dive shop and make you do the Discover Scuba.
I do want to
just try
that.
it in the pool.
Yeah.
I love it. Actually, from the first time I went to the pool and actually got underwater, I was immediately like transfixed. I was like, this is amazing. This is what I want to do. No. And a lot of people who don't dive, and this is maybe what I thought too before I did, will say, oh, I'm not sure I could do that because I get claustrophobic.
Yeah.
It does not feel claustrophobic in the least to me, not even a little bit. It feels very expansive.
That's lovely.
It feels very meditative.
Yeah.
Maybe not your first few dives because you're like, wait, fuck, what am I supposed to do? Shit.
Breathe.
Like, yeah, exactly. Right. Like it takes you a minute to like get used to it. But once you do get used to it, it's very, very peaceful and relaxing.
Ooh, that's lovely.
It is. Yeah. You mostly just kind of hear the sound of your bubbles that you're making. In between, if you're on a reef, you can sometimes hear the snapping shrimp snap, or sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's so cool.
And if you're lucky enough to encounter dolphins underwater, which has only happened to me a couple of times, you can hear them talking, right? You can hear the clicks and the whistles and the squeaks. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
What's been like, is there an experience that stands out to you of just like this beautiful, surreal moment on a dive?
Oh, I mean, I have a lot of them. Kind of recently, I took my son to the Big Island of Hawaii, and we did the night manta ray dive, and that is fairly magical. That's very surreal. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's super cool. What they do is they kind of overweight you, and you just sort of drop to the bottom. Yeah. It's a fairly shallow, like maybe 50 feet at most dive. And they turn some big lights on, and it kind of attracts the plankton, and then the mantis come in to eat the plankton. And they are just so beautiful, so graceful, so big. It's pretty awesome.
That's incredible. And your wee son dives with you.
He does.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
How old was he? Like, is there a minimum age?
There is, yeah. So I think you can start them at 10, but 10 to 12, I think they're limited maybe to going to 30 feet or 35 feet. Lori, if I'm getting this wrong, please forgive me, because I didn't actually start him till he was 12. So he got his junior open water at age 12, and I think you're supposed to be depth limited to 60 feet at that point. That was not a guideline that was completely followed or right from the beginning, but
like, whoops.
Might have been some rounding error.
Yeah.
Especially when I took him to Fiji, and some of the dives get quite deep there. So anyway, but he loves it. He's a great diver. So cool. He's very calm and collected underwater. So it's been an awesome thing that we do together.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that he loves it as well.
It's wonderful.
Like a wee bonding thing that you do together.
Yeah. Oh, I really want you to try it. It's also really cool because it is the closest you could get to being weightless. You're just flying underwater. You're just like floating. I
would imagine just the meditative practice of it all would be incredible, because you can't really think about other things.
No, you're in the moment. Completely.
You're so in the moment because, number one, you want to remain alive. So I would imagine there's safety things that have to be front of mind. And also you're like with all the wee fishes.
Yes. Like, it's so cool.
Magical.
Really magical.
Like, and peaceful. Like,
very.
Where it's like when you go to the desert in Utah, right? Like the first time I went to the desert in Utah, and this might sound silly, the stillness almost hurt my ears.
Yeah.
Because it's so like quiet. And I know that you hear your wee bubbles and there are noises, but I would also imagine, this will also sound weird, the noise exists in that like scope of stillness.
Yeah, it does. And I think as a yogi, you would really appreciate it because the noise you're hearing is your breath.
Yeah.
It's all in tune with your breath.
And your wee bubbles?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that sounds just so the peace that I crave.
Oh, it's magical.
That I can't find on land.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe that's the trick.
We're going to convert you to diving.
Okay.
At least I want you to try it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I have always wanted to try. So yeah, what are these Discover Days?
Oh, you can just book them through the shop. Like I don't know how many they do, but like it's on their calendar, and I think it's not too expensive. You can just go and like they'll set you up, and you can go breathe underwater and see if you like it.
Wow.
Yeah, before they start teaching you like all the stuff, which isn't that much stuff. Like it's important stuff, but it's not like it's not difficult to learn, I would say.
So how long does like a certification take?
Oh gosh, another good question that I'm probably going to answer incorrectly.
An approximation.
Yeah, I mean, generally you have some classroom time, so they kind of talk to you about like all the stuff you're going to do and like safety and all that stuff, and then you start practicing things in the pool. So practicing setting your gear up, doing some skills underwater, skills like taking the regulator out of your mouth and putting it back in, skills like getting water in your mask and then being able to clear it with your breath, you know, things like that. I actually am kind of afraid to answer this, but there are usually a few pool sessions, and then you have to do some open water dives. And I want to say the number is 6. If that's wrong, I'm not sure. 4 to 6,
a number
shall we say?
A number
4 to 6 open water dives. And there's a few places in Utah you can do that. One of them is the Homestead Crater up in Midway. Have you been there?
Oh, yes. That's lovely.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I've just been there for a wee swim.
Yeah, featured on The Real Housewives. Remember when they did paddleboard yoga there?
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's a fun place.
It is.
It's like a whole resort, right? That's the Homestead Resort?
Yeah, that's
Is that
right.
what it's called? Yes. I've napped in the grass there during Ragnar too.
Oh,
yes.
Hilarious.
Ragnar, for those of you listeners maybe in other lands, is this wild and crazy relay race. They're all over the U.S., I believe. This is the Wasatch Back. So it's a couple of 100 miles basically along the Wasatch mountain range. So you just run constantly with your team, sleep in vans, and maybe have to do a 7-mile run at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah, because it's just continuous.
Yeah, but like in the dark, in the mountains, by yourself, which is lovely and also terrifying sometimes, and more so for the wildlife, because you're like, the noises, and but a great adventure, but also every time I do it, I'm like, why the fuck would anybody do this?
How many times have you done it?
3 or 4 ?
Okay.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
It was 2024. I think it was.
Oh, so pretty recently.
It was 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
I've never done the like traditional Ragnar van style, and I honestly don't think I ever would. That's not appealing, but I did do one of the Ragnar trails.
Oh, cool.
Which I like a lot because you're just doing loops essentially.
Yes.
And you're sleeping in one place. And the one I did was in the Tetons at, I think, the Grand Targhee ski resort.
Yeah.
So we actually, instead of camping, we rented a condo. And so then you can actually sleep in a bed. It was really nice.
That would be my style, because I've slept in high school gyms and outside high schools, and then the sprinklers come on.
Not into that. Yeah. That's going to be a hard no for me, but I would do another trail.
Yeah. It's like fun and quirky in hindsight, but at the time, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It doesn't sound that fun, to be honest.
It's good times.
One of my sister-in-laws just did the Ragnar Trail in Zion.
Oh, yes. My friend did that.
Yeah. I haven't done it. I was actually scheduled to do it a couple of weeks after I got sepsis. So, of course, I did not complete that.
Melissa, what's wrong with you? Why didn't...
Well, I couldn't get out of bed for a couple of weeks after that, so it took a minute.
Yeah, I would imagine that it did.
Yes.
Oof. Yeah. Do we talk about that in your birthday episode?
No.
I'm like,
that's a whole thing.
That's a whole other episode. Yeah. Okay, we'll bypass that.
Yeah, not mentally prepared to go there, even though it was like right around my birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think it was a couple days before my birthday.
To add insult to injury.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was right before your birthday. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, back to your birthday.
Yes.
What way do you typically like to celebrate? Is it with travel, or what kind of things like traditions?
Sometimes I do travel. This one, the stars just kind of aligned because this trip was scheduled over my birthday, and I was like, well, this is obviously a sign that I should do it.
Clearly a sign from the universe.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then I went and talked to Lori, and she's like, I have a spot left. And I was like, oh, this was meant to be, obviously. So
100%.
Yeah.
That's nice when things happen like that.
Exactly.
That's good.
Usually, though, I don't travel. Usually I throw a big party and invite all my friends. Last year, I had the inappropriate T-shirt party.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yes.
It was great fun, where everyone was supposed to wear a funny and or inappropriate T-shirt. Yes.
Would you like to share your slogan of yours?
I think I probably won't.
You're like, no.
There was a reference to work in there, which I would prefer not to share.
We'll stay clear from that. But there were some good T-shirts. We'll just say that.
There were some great ones.
And you just moved into your lovely new place too. And
yes.
Yeah, wasn't that just right before?
It was. Yeah, it was also my housewarming party.
Very cool. That's amazing. Well, we're trying to fix you throwing your own parties, but you do throw a good party.
Oh, thank you.
That.
Yes. And I would have done it again this year, but you kindly stepped up because I was out of town for 2 weeks.
Well, with your lovely sister-in-law.
Yes.
So we'll report on that on our next episode.
Okay, I'm very excited. The theme is a surprise to me, so I will find out tomorrow.
You'll find out tomorrow, but funny story, we actually forgot to tell Melissa where it was and what time.
Yeah, until today.
Yes, so I'm very sorry for
that.
that.
No, you're fine. Stop apologizing.
That was definitely a judgment slip, but, don't tell the guest of honor where or when it is. Surprise!
It's like a surprise party that wasn't supposed to be a surprise party.
That you're not there.
Yeah, that would have been a surprise to everyone.
We had a great time celebrating you. It was so fun. You would have loved it. So yes, people, when you're planning a party, make sure you tell the guest of honor where and when it is.
Thank you for planning this party. I'm very excited.
Well, it was lovely to do it with your lovely sister-in-law.
Isn't she great?
She's a wee gem.
Yeah.
She really is a lovely human.
She is.
This is good.
Yeah.
So that's how you like to celebrate.
It is, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time I was out of town for my birthday. I think it was when I went to Japan a couple years ago. That was fun. So
you like to travel is what I'm hearing.
I might have a slight addiction.
So where did that come from? Because you mentioned going with your wee mum on those high school trips that she did when you were
I only
younger.
went on one of them, and I was in my 20s at the time, so I was like one of the chaperones, essentially. That was pretty fun. She did it every year for a little while. I'm not sure how many she did, but I only went on one of those. I don't know. I feel like I always just wanted to get out and see the world. I'm just like curious about what is out there.
Yes. That's side story. I actually knew Melissarella's mother for many years.
Oh, that's right.
But didn't know it was your mother. In fact, I've known your mother longer than I knew you.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, I can't say like I know
but
her.
Not as well as you know me.
Yes, but it was just fun to make that connection. It was like, wait, what? That's your mom?
So funny, right?
Small Lake City, as
they
call it.
Well, probably some of it comes from there. So my mother did some traveling when she was younger. She lived in like Mexico for some amount of time, I think through like college. Also did a semester abroad in Spain back when Franco was the dictator. So she used to like tell stories of that, and that probably implanted some of the travel bug.
Like a wee seed.
Yeah. And with 5 kids, we did not do international travel because,
fair enough.
7 plane tickets is a lot of money.
A lot.
But my dad used to throw us in the car a lot and like take us to national parks and stuff like that. So we would go to Yellowstone or the Grand Tetons, kind of on our Lake Utah visit twice a year. We might like do some of that, Southern Utah. So we did a lot of kind of local sort of travel.
Well, and that's the thing about Merca is like it's large.
Yes, it's very large.
And varied.
Yes.
So there are definitely a lot of places, which may be one of the reasons that such a low number of Americans hold passports.
Yes.
Because there's a lot to look at in this land. It kind of blew my mind when I moved here, just the size.
Well, yeah. And I have to say, I do hate it when Europeans are shady about Americans not having passports. You know, like where we live, Europeans, do you know how long you have to drive to get out of this country? You would be all the way across Europe by the time, you got the equivalent distance to Canada or Mexico. So, while I sort of get that in principle, and it would be great if more Americans traveled and saw more of the world, or at least learned more about the world, that would be fantastic.
That part would be good.
But this nation is giant.
Yes.
And not everybody can afford to do that. And it's not like Europe where you can drive for an hour and be in a different country.
Yes, that is, there's a lot to explore here.
Yes.
But I agree, it might help with the insularity, is that a word?
Insularity, yeah.
Yes, aspect of just seeing how other people live.
And
there are good countries in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of...
And I think
we're
that's
the best.
Oh, right. And that is wrong. I definitely don't agree or support that, but not all Americans can afford to get out of this country.
Yes.
However, it is a choice for some of them, and I will not defend that choice if they do leave the country to only go on a Carnival cruise or something like that.
That is such a good point, because I think there's a concept of travel, right? And I'm not saying it's not expensive, because even flights are very expensive right now, but there's a concept of travel which I noticed is different to maybe Europe, and it could be a size. Size matters.
Size does matter.
Turns out that size matters.
It really does.
With a lot of things.
Yes.
Some of them quite obvious, and some of them a little more subtle and coded.
Yes.
But, there's this idea that often if you talk to young people, they envisage travel as what you said, like going on a Carnival cruise or going to a resort.
Yeah, like an all-inclusive in Cancun or something like that, which is basically might as well be Vegas with a beach.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, well, that could be a vacation, but is it travel? I think there's kind of a difference between those things. And that's, there are other ways to travel. And when I grew up, again, probably because we lived in a very cold, very small island, especially when we were at university, it was like, what is your plan for summer? There was always, it was never just to stay.
Yeah.
And also, this might sound weird, but I think one of the correlations is in America, you have a car from you're 16.
Right.
I think I had my first car when I was 24, and people just don't really do that. It's a size thing probably again too, right? I mean, I know cities like New York and stuff, people aren't typically buying cars and things, but I hear a lot of young people sometimes say, well, I have a car payment, or I have this. It's just a different focus. But we always did there was the Interrail option around Europe. There was the go work in a pizza place in Wildwood, New Jersey, undocumented.
Yeah.
For this, but it was just a known thing that you did. You can also do the J1 visa route, which is how I actually, route for all my Irish friends out there. That's actually how I met my children's father.
Right.
Was on the J1 visa, but there was always travel. It was just sort of considered a part of your university experience in the summers, and you chose one of that. But the relative size is real, right? You could go to one end of our country to the other, and not as quickly as you would think because roads. But if you wanted an adventure, you had to go somewhere else. So there is a large land mass to cover here. So you're not short in adventures.
Right. And I'd also say just economically, I think it is quite a bit cheaper to travel around Europe because, like you said, you can take a train. Now there's all the discount airlines. You can take quite cheap flights everywhere in Europe, and you don't need to own a car necessarily. Maybe in some places, but in a lot of the cities, why would you? There's no reason. It would just be an expense that is stupid because you could take public transportation. But guess what? In most of our cities, our public transportation is crap. I mean, maybe not New York. You can not have a car there, or some of our bigger cities. But here in Utah, we've talked before about how inconvenient and awful the public transportation is. It's hard not to have a car.
Yeah. Well nigh impossible, perhaps, to not have a car here. I try the bike often, but our winters.
Yeah.
You can't be riding your wee bike in the winter. That would end in not a good situation. But I think as well, more so like just where particularly college age students, like where their money goes. Like it wouldn't be in the mindset to put money into like a car payment while you're still in school. You would just be like, I will buy a car when I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Like
that makes sense.
You know, and so it goes into travel. Now, I have not lived there for quite some time, so I don't know if that's still kind of the mindset or the approach for...
What's the relative cost of college, do you think? I mean, I know it's probably different in each country in Europe. However, if you were to make a comparison between there and the United States, what would you say?
Oh, when I went, it was $0.
Yeah. So that's another reason that we don't travel.
Yeah.
We don't have the money because we have all these like young people racking up big student loans just to attend college.
And it's not free now. So when I went back in the olden days, before the internet, or as the internet was emerging, it was free for your undergrad.
Yeah.
And then... But I remember at the time thinking that my master's was like a deep financial burden. And I was clearing some like stuff out and found a little invoice. I think it was like £240 a semester.
Oh my
semester.
God. That's like
semester.
That's like nothing.
Yeah. Well, like my tuition last semester, I got a scholarship that paid 50% of my tuition, and I still paid several $1,000s just for one semester.
Yeah.
Just for one semester. So I don't know why I repeated that for emphasis. I'm just like,
No, that's fair.
Tuition.
And that's not even a particularly expensive college.
It's a very accessible, affordable.
As they go
in theory. Yeah, like it's definitely not akin to my youngest's fancy little... private college that she's at right now, where the tuition is like a telephone number. And it's, I still think with what people have to pay over there, it's definitely less expensive than here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't really speak to this. There's an aspect of it that's means tested that may be more realistic because... I don't know who's doing the math at FAFSA, but it's just like...
Oh, it's wild.
So what money do you use to live after you're saying I can pay this much tuition?
I know, right?
But yes, that's all very interesting. Just different cultural approaches.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a number of reasons why Europeans tend to be more well-traveled than Americans, and only one of those reasons is insularity. I think the other reasons eclipse that. Yeah,
there's a large space to explore.
Yeah.
With lots of different landscapes. Well, back to you and your birthday. We have covered, this is just the smorgasbord episode.
Oh, I know. It's just all over the map,
all the
literally.
Yeah. Ooh, I love it. All the stuff that's in our head right now. Give us a trip that stands out. Or one of your favorite places that you like to go to over and over? Or do you like to go to over and over places?
Yeah, I don't actually repeat a ton. Or if I do, maybe it's just a couple of times. A place I think I would never get tired of going is Indonesia.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. The diving there is the best in the world.
Yeah.
And everyone I've ever met in Indonesia is super friendly.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's necessarily like a property of every single Indonesian, but like it's a very accessible
like a general
and
vibe.
The vibe is good. People are super nice.
Yeah.
And the diving, I really like to do that. I would say I like to go places where I'm a little more focused on nature. So if it's not a diving trip, it's probably going to be more like a hiking trip. Yeah. Safari was amazing in Africa. That was a trip that really stands out. I would love to go back and see that again. I'm not really that super interested in going places like Europe, to be honest. And that's funny to say because I tend to go there every year for one reason or another. I end up in Europe, but it's never really like my goal or my plan. Because I figure, well, two things. Number one, most of that stuff's likely going to be there when I'm old, right? So Second, I have a very low tolerance for things like churches. Yeah. I'm I just don't really care that much unless it's something quite special. Yeah. The history is interesting to me, but not really interesting enough to bump that to the top. Yeah. So I really like to do something that is more about seeing animals in the natural world.
So you're less a city break girly and more like a nature, mountain, water.
Which is funny because I like cities. I like big cities. I like going out to eat, like having great food, having cultural experiences, but like it's never what I would prioritize given the choice between the two.
Yes. Well, that was my next question. Was like, do you center a lot of your trips on diving but it's mostly nature based?
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, and this is going to take it to a bit of a dark place. Look, your Irishness is rubbing off on me, but actually I would say it's not, because the nature of my field is that everything that I love is going away. Yeah. Everything's going extinct. Like the biomass of animals in my lifetime has decreased more than 50%. We've lost half of it.
That's wow.
The coral reefs are dying.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Have you seen, because I mean, you have dove.
Yes.
Dived for Dovidness for all the different ways for like 2 decades, right? Yeah. And so I know, like, just from documentaries and stuff, that it's accelerated, right? Like the destruction of the coral reef. So have you like seen that with your own eyeballs in that 20-year period?
Yes. Absolutely. Wow. The Caribbean, many places in the Caribbean are dying. And that is, well, I mean, we can get a little biological here, right? Okay, so corals are little animals. I know a lot of people think they're kind of plants because they're sessile and they just sort of sit there, but they're little animals that are polyps. And in order to survive, they actually live in symbiosis with a microscopic set of organisms called dinoflagellates, or in coral biology, they call them zooxanthellae, which is fun to say.
Yeah, say it again.
Zooxanthellae.
Zooxanthellae.
Yeah, or if you're like really like think you're cool, you just call them the zocs.
Oh, yeah. That's how you know you're talking to a pro.
Or somebody that wants to be a pro. Yeah. Like that's kind of like, you know, the Dunning-Kruger effect. I feel like those are the people that are sort of like climbing Mount Stupid and haven't got to the other side yet. You know, like they've learned enough to think they know a lot, but not necessarily like all the things.
So the term you might hear in the manosphere is what I'm hearing.
Well, no, that's a science word. You would never hear that.
You're like, they wouldn't even start there.
Yeah. Anyway, so these zooxanthellae or dinoflagellates live inside the coral, and it's a symbiotic relationship. They photosynthesize, provide the coral with sugars, and in return probably get things like nitrogen and phosphorus and a nice place to live. And the thing about ocean acidification and also the rising temperatures of the ocean is it stresses the coral so much that they either expel or consume their endosymbionts, or the symbionts just die. Yeah. And the coral can't survive without them. So you can have coral, and that's when coral bleaching happens, because these are the things that give coral color. Yes. And bleaching can either be temporary or permanent. So if like the ocean warms, like it does, say, in the Great Barrier Reef, and then cools down relatively quickly before the corals died, they can be recolonized and actually recover. Yeah. But if they live too long without the zooxanthellae, they will die. And so then you have giant stretches of reef that are dead.
That are just bleached.
Yeah, forever.
No color in them.
They're just dead. And you see that in the Caribbean. So when I was in the Cayman Islands over Thanksgiving, there were a lot of dead corals, quite a few dead corals. Actually, a lot of the reef was dead. Yeah. So that's quite horrible and tragic to see. When I was in Little Cayman, you know, probably 15 years ago, it was quite healthy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Like from observational perspective, right? We watch documentaries and hear things sometimes, and you wonder, I wonder how soon that is or how widespread that is. But like you have seen it over a relatively short period of time, really.
Absolutely. And it's not just coral bleaching either. So in Indonesia, I haven't really seen a lot of bleaching. I think the water's still cool enough there that the coral's not dying. But last time I went to Indonesia, the thing I didn't see, sharks.
Really?
They're all
so extinct, or?
No, they've all been finned.
Wow.
For shark fin soup.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Wow.
So no sharks. And then, you know, the trash in the water is fairly extensive. Yeah. Also, I was on a liveaboard. This was a while back. And while we were diving on the liveaboard, we heard dynamite fishing. So just throwing dynamite into the water to kill the fish, and then you scoop them up.
Wow. Okay, so the very clear effect of that is dead fish.
Yeah, and coral. It also destroys the reef if you're throwing that on a coral reef.
Wow. Well, because that, like, how do things like that or all of the rubbish and trash that we know is in the ocean, how does that affect, or what does that do to all the ecosystems within the ocean?
It's killing them.
My goodness.
Also our appetite for fish. So pretty much just about every fishery in the world is collapsing due to the insane global appetite for eating fish.
Yeah.
So that's another problem. Food chains are collapsing all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Solutions. What can we do?
Well, okay. I don't know how this is going to go exactly, but here's the thing. There has been kind of an amazing push, a successful push by corporations and governments to try and push guilt and responsibility onto the individual human. Okay, so there are things you can do, right? Like you can not buy things with palm oil, for example, right? You can stop eating meat. You can decrease the amount of fish you're eating, right? Or if you're going to eat fish, get the Monterey Bay Aquarium conservation list and pick things off the green list, and definitely not the red. So are there things individually you can do? Sure. None of those are going to matter, not even a little bit. Okay, and kind of the biggest I think example of this, and maybe where this started, was the successful branding by British Petroleum of the carbon footprint. Telling people they shouldn't be, consuming things, or they shouldn't be driving, or they should limit their travel, or all these things should be recycling. But that is hiding the fact that it is the corporations and government that are killing our ecosystems.
They're doing
it is
the
not
real damage.
You as an individual consumer. So, should you be responsible? Sure.
Yeah.
Is it going to make any difference? No.
Wow. Yeah,
Is that dark? Yes. But it's true.
But it's also the truth.
It's the truth.
Because, you feel guilty for not recycling a paper carton, and sure, be good, responsible people, right? Because
I don't even know that recycling is going to a recycling facility. Yeah. The plastic certainly isn't. That's going to a landfill.
Yeah, which I hear often. And again, it's putting that responsibility in the individual. Though I will say, I think the idea of just a collective moral responsibility, just being cognizant of what you do is good for everybody, right? The collective.
Sure.
We're all trying to be, more cognizant of waste or the earth or using reusable things. That's all great. But what I'm hearing is it won't solve the problems because of the practices of corporations and governments. Are, the individual things we try to do are minuscule compared to the damage.
Yeah, really political advocacy is the only thing you can actually do. And is that going to make a difference? Probably not. But at least that's the only thing that has a chance of it.
Of moving the dial a little bit. So what could corporations and governments do? Stop fucking around.
Strong governmental regulation, that works. It does, and now we're doing the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah, so corporations will respond, to regulation. They're not going to do it on their own, right?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to provide value to the shareholder or whatever. They're going to act in a capitalistic, self-interested way.
Yeah. It's just so interesting to me because we all live here.
Yeah.
It's that simple. We all live here. Our children's children's children will all live here.
Maybe.
And, well, if they can. And it's even is there a sense of investment there to want it to be nice for other people? Or it boggles me that it's just take. Even when we did our little Word of Wisdom episode, we talked about that mentality of, well, it's all here for my use.
Right.
So I'll just
use it up.
Be careless, right? And do whatever. And it's that on a huge scale, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just so interesting, shall we say.
Yeah.
But so we'll do a little cross-discipline here, humanities meets science. So oftentimes I think about how things go in cycles, right?
Right.
I mean, basically everything but men, right? Cycles, women's cycle, moon cycles, tide connected to the moon, right? All, there's cycles everywhere.
Yes.
And there's also political cycles and, trends. They're all cyclical in nature. And so, sometimes it can perhaps provide a small degree of relief where we're like, okay, we're just in a cycle. And the good thing about a cycle is it's a circle. And so we'll come back around, right? And like we see that over and over. So my question is, how does that relate to science, right? Because like coral reefs, once they're bleached, that's it, right? They can come to a point where they cannot regenerate and all of that. So what is their hope with the nature? I mean, I would think of, you know, the idea that Earth is essentially a regenerative. Why can't I say these words?
Regenerative?
Actually, I talk about the big tongue often, and we're going to do it in an episode because I find out a very interesting thing from a book I was reading this week, that Irish people's tongues are actually shaped in a certain manner, and it has to do with the loss of our language and everything. So I was like, that is why my tongue is like that.
Okay, well, so yeah, we have to circle back to that. Speaking of circling back.
There may be an epigenetic reason for my what feels like too big tongue. Maybe I should put that in a dating profile. I have the Irish tongue.
Oh, God.
Sorry, that went south when I was trying to get to something profound. So
it's kind of our brand, though.
It's kind of our brand. Paring it back to a place I can't remember now. Cycles.
Well, you were talking about how Earth is a regenerative system and how things go in cycles, and that is geologically correct, right? So we've been through cycles in Earth's history where there's no ice at all. The polar ice caps are completely melted. Yeah. We've been through ice ages, right? And this, some of this is cyclical on sort of a reliably predictable pattern. Yeah. Okay, so there's things called Milankovitch cycles, which have to do with the physics of the solar system, right? Yeah. So Earth is tilted. That tilt actually increases and decreases over geological time. I want to say like 24,000 years, something like that.
Just a wee bit of time.
Yeah, right. Like the tilt also sort of precesses, meaning it kind of moves around every 11,000 years or so. And then there's bigger cycles, like more than 100,000 years or more, which our orbit gets more circular or more oval shaped. Okay, so it stretches out or kind of comes back together. And that's actually due to the gravitational pull of Jupiter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jupiter.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. So when Jupiter is closer to us, then our orbit is more elliptical, so it's stretched out. And when it's further away, like it is now, then it's more circular, or closer to a circle. Okay. So yes, these things go in cycles, right? Ice ages go in cycles, et cetera. It is true. However, it is a little bit rough for me to hear when people say, well, you know, because of that, global warming isn't a big deal. Well, okay, maybe in a geological sense it's not. Okay, extinction is a normal thing. Yeah. Organisms, species are born, they live, they die. That's normal, just like individuals, okay? But the way that we're accelerating climate change and the way that we're accelerating species extinction is not there yet, but it's kind of perhaps taking us to a place of a mass extinction. Yeah. Okay. Which we've had several in Earth's history. Yeah. And, you know, will Earth eventually recover from us when we're gone? Sure. Yes. It'll look differently, right? Different. Don't need the LY there. Yeah. It'll look different. But will it recover? Yes. Okay. But like,
at what cost?
Well, the cost is going to be us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if you look at sort of the current political climate, you know, as we're speaking, right, we have this situation going on with Iran. Yeah. Okay. And one consequence that I feel like isn't talked about enough is that, you know, petroleum is used to produce fertilizer. Hundreds of thousands of people could starve to death if this continues.
That is such a huge aspect, I think, that, you know, in sciencey circles, I'm stuck with the circle today, or international affairs, that's a lot of people are actually talking about that, but the sort of the news media, that's all you hear about, petroleum, you know, and
yeah, and yes, gas is getting more expensive, but like we're not going to starve to death here in America. Yeah, but other people might.
Yeah, and that's where people's heads go, right? Like they're just like, my airfare was more, my car, it's so, you know, expensive to fill up now, but there's other consequences of that.
Oh yeah, there's literal lives on the line. Yes, quite a few of them.
Yeah, in terms of fertilizer, helium as well as another one, and production of electronic things in South Korea is already behind it. Like, so many implications, right? And but food is really important. And
pretty much,
yet another form of colonialism in terms of the value or the lack of value of how we see other people's human lives.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, this is just beyond reckless irresponsibility.
Because it's like, well, I'm okay. And it's like, okay, and, that there's other humans on this planet that we should care for too.
And non-human lives.
Yes. Yeah. Which is a big thing for you, my friend, right? Like,
I feel like it should be a big thing for all of us.
Yeah. It's living things.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back again to that, whether it's the environment, animals, or humans, just a general trend towards caring for, like, a stewardship would be a really good directional change.
Yeah.
And that's interesting and a good thing to think about in terms of, yes, there are cycles, and yes, we're exacerbating the destruction of stuff.
Right. Like, the fact that it is a cycle and it will come back eventually doesn't really make what's happening okay, I guess is how I would say that. It's not a
solution.
No.
Yes. No. Yes. We meant the same thing. But it came out that way. I wonder as well how much of the treatment of the earth, right? Like, it's always personified as Mother Earth and female and all of that. And if it would be different if the earth was personified as a man, would they reap and pillage it so wildly? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Maybe that's taking a little far. So.
Well, I think it holds up as a metaphor, though.
Yeah. I mean, on lots of levels.
Tracks completely with how we treat women in our society as well.
And even the earth herself.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting. Well, we've covered the gauntlet.
Yeah, now I just kind of feel sad. Now I feel like that was a real bummer of a birthday episode. So happy birthday to me. Waves small black flag, goes home and cries for an hour.
Oh, well, to finish on, not that I'm trying to steer back to fake positivity, but tell us something that this is actually crossover with midlife dating. This is often a question that's on a profile.
Oh my God.
Tell us something we would not know about you from your profile.
Oh my God.
That's a dating version of it. But yeah, what quintessential Melissarella essence should we know about you before we round off your birthday episode?
Oh my God, I'm completely stumped. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
I'm literally drawing a blank.
Yeah, you're like, I can't. Well, it's like one of those things when you say, share something interesting about yourself, people immediately go, but there's nothing interesting. And I, not like going the self-deprecating route, but like, it can be hard to share that.
Well, it's not even that. It's more like something you wouldn't know about me after having listened to like my voice on 30 hours of podcasts. Like, I don't,
that is
I'm sure there's something,
point.
but like, I feel like I'm kind of putting it all out there,
Yeah. That's a very fair point, which, this might sound weird, but it never really, I made the connection in my brain, and it wasn't until this week I met somebody through the podcast, through the magic of the podcast.
Amazing.
Who was like asking questions about things they knew about me, and you're like, wait, how do you know that?
Yeah,
you're
like really personal things. You're like, oh yeah, I shared that with everyone.
We shared that with the world.
Yeah.
So that's actually a fair point. I mean, we're kind of open books at this point. Like you know some of our deepest, darkest things out there.
Yeah.
That
like I'm not even keeping anything in. I'm just like, literally, what is there left that like people don't know about me?
Yeah, there's things we've probably shared here that we actually haven't said aloud to other humans weirdly, and then decided to do it in front of a microphone.
I know, right?
Share it with the world. But in our heads, we're just sitting in a little room talking to each other. In our defense,
that's literally what we're doing. And
like we're not exhibitionists.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not like we necessarily want to
and
share.
And then at the same time, we're like, let's talk about tossing a salad.
Yeah. It's like anything here is, we will share it all. But yeah, well, that's fair. Probably our wee listeners know all the things.
Yeah, they know a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say to that, but I'll say we're going to celebrate tomorrow. It's going to be a good time.
And I'm very excited to celebrate you because you deserve to be celebrated.
I mean, despite what I probably sounded like today, I'm actually a lot of fun to be around. So
I can attest to that. Melissarella is one of my favorite people to hang out with, is very fun, throws great parties, but also,
leaves no dick joke unmade usually.
Never. We'll take and I think that's one of the things that bonded us, because
yes, it was.
In any social group, you and I will be the people that will just literally look at each other and be like, oh,
smart. Yeah, exactly.
I hear a dirty joke in that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to affect others in the same manner.
No, not necessarily, which I don't understand.
Right.
But,
We're like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you see the dick joke in that? Like,
right? It's right there.
My God, it's like the low-hanging fruit.
Oh, man, I met someone on this trip who's worse than I am at that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
We must bring them in.
Oh, my God, I love her.
Wow.
Her name's Angela. She
shout out to Angela.
I know. She and I were rooming together on the boat, and we, especially her, I contributed, but we made every dive briefing into a raunchy series of inappropriate jokes, and it was amazing. But
amazing,
mostly Angela.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
We finally got our dive guide to tell us to shut up.
You two in the back, stop it.
It was amazing.
Well, I'm so glad for you.
I mean, it was all of us, really, all six of us, but really, well, 5 out of the 6, but she was the worst offender.
She was the leader.
I was not the worst offender for once in my life. It was amazing.
I must meet this woman.
She's so great.
That's incredible. Wow. Okay. There are others like us. This is This is good.
We are
to
not
know.
alone.
And I'm glad that this was your wee cabin mate.
Oh, she was so fantastic. I love her.
For your
I
pleasure.
love her. Yes.
Yeah. That is amazing. Well, I love it.
Great stuff.
Well, happy birthday, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Happy birthday to me.
Many happy returns. And you are very fun around to be with.
Yes,
Jesus.
I am fun around to be with.
My composition is terrible. Some days I really do worry, but most days I'm just
that probably makes sense in
I've
Latin or something, right? The sentence structure, except there are the verbs at the end.
I'm actually
so
being
almost
very deep and intentional about, I'm just like James Joyce, even though the University of Utah classifies him as a British writer, we all know he's Irish, and experimental fiction
and
fiction. That's the female version.
Oh, okay.
Fiction.
I like it.
Wow. Sorry, you were going to say something there as I was.
Oh, I was just going to make a James Joyce butt plug joke, but.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love a James Joyce butt plug joke. It's always good, but yeah, we're just experimenting with language over here.
Always.
Deep and profound. All right, salty hoes, salty bros.
Thanks for tuning in.
We're very excited you joined us in this
rambling
bizarre
adventure.
Very on brand.
Yes,
I love it.
I feel like it was quite fitting.
It was.
All right, take care, y'all. We'll see you next time.
Stay salty.
Bye.
Bye.